Plug.
Gerby, look, okay, yeah, watching Love on the Spectrum, with an erection, I'm putting in work like a Mexican, yeah, look, yeah. Met a girl down in Spain, now I got a Latinx. My life is a movie, I'm just wondering what's gonna happen next. Yeah, she asked me why I ain't text her yet, cause I've been popping pills and cashing checks. Gerby, yeah. Jacking off. It's a very mysterious thing, you know? One day you're just going on there, it seems pretty innocuous. You're just like, oh, she's stuck in the dryer, it's just some hot girl. You know, who doesn't like to see a pair of naked breasts when they're a teenager? A couple years down the line, you keep on whacking it, and then the same old stuff you were looking at before, the same old, you know, stepmom, the same old POV blowjob, it don't hit the same no more. And then this is when you start hitting the dark sides. This is when you start delving deep into the trenches of what the web has to offer. And you may find yourself years down the line going, how did I get here? Looking at all these furries with wieners, like, oh my gosh, looking at children even. God forbid looking at children, right? Well, the subject of today's video, one Vaush, is a man we had a little bit of a back and forth in the past. He just reacted to one of my videos, and then I responded to it a little bit. And in light of recent events, I went back and watched that. You know, at the time I was trying to handle it in good faith, see if he had anything to say, but upon re-watching what he did, like, it was sort of a genuine, sort of heartfelt, trying to relate to people video I made, and he was just clearly going into it with the intention of picking it apart and debunking it rather than listening or like providing anything valuable.
Genuinely scared by the fact this video tackled all the stuff passing through my brain on a daily basis. It's crazy to see a lot of us are in the same situation. Go outside, please.
So I'm talking about broad macro subjects that are clearly impacting a lot of people. And when it comes to things like that, saying just go outside is very dismissive. It's like that top comment on my video that said how he related to what I was saying, and your only response was go outside, please. It's like you don't know the first thing about these people, because the truth is the problem has gotten bad enough to where, you know, you could genuinely try and still come up short. Also, Vaush is a Twitch streamer, and judging by his build, he doesn't do a lot of activities, so I'm very curious as to what gives him the authority to speak about the outdoors. So I found that to be a little bit lame upon looking back at it. But another point of interest is that in this same video, he looks through my channel and finds some videos about nofap, or about the addiction to pornography. And he also proceeds to debunk those as well, although he really didn't.
Multiple fMRI scans have dictated using the hub decreases the gray matter in your reward circuit over time.
I think the consequence of these studies was that it's possible to be psychologically addicted to pornography in the same way that you can be addicted to a lot of things, and the reward centers of your brain are fucked by addiction. So it's like being addicted to porn is bad because it does the same thing to your brain that addiction does. Well, yeah, you shouldn't be addicted to porn. You can still watch it, though. Like, there are people addicted to lots of things. I'm not going to make that my problem. All right, well, we epically own that one pretty quick. Literally, sugar does the same thing, so I don't know what the fuck is wrong with nofappers. Well, I mean, in a lot of cases, I think it comes down to misogyny.
But saying just use moderation is terrible advice, because the hub is inherently extremely addictive and hard to moderate.
So it really piqued my interest when I discovered that during one of his streams recently, he leaked his vault full, chock full of some very peculiar beating material. His spank bank was unleashed into the public. By the way, I never really got that. Like, we have the internet. Why do you need to download these type of images onto your solid state drive for like safekeeping forever, just in case a hard time comes around, the power grid goes down, you always have that. But inside this folder, it wasn't just a regular old folder full of normal, real life, grown women having intercourse with grown men. It wasn't like that. In this folder, there were two peculiar genres of spank literature. The first of these has to do with horses, Equus caballus, as known in the scientific community. And these horses, these equine species, were not just having intercourse with other horses, but with human women. And these are drawings, mind you. It's not happening in real life. Does that make it better? I don't know. I'm not the fucking goon platoon. And look, maybe that's a little bit sus or whatever, but if my mother taught me one thing, it's the year of our Lord 2024. You can't judge a man by what's in his yank vault, you know? But the second problematic genre that was unveiled within this folder was lolly. Now, if you've led a healthy and well-socialized life up until this point, allow me to explain what a lolly is to the best of my knowledge. It's like, it's a type of, it's Japanese shit. As you all know, the Japanese, they're freaky fucks. And of course we all know about the good old hinte by now. But what a lolly is it's one of these characters, it's one of these drawings that looks very young and has the body of a child in terms of how it was illustrated. It's a little girl. It's a child, an underage girl, but it's fake. It's anime. It's a cartoon. So there's a big debate going on. The most elite rhetoricians you can imagine are constantly waging intellectual warfare on the internet over whether or not it is moral to pleasure yourself to lollies. And hey, call me old-fashioned, but my personal opinion on the subject is that the entire thing is asinine and absurd, that we're even having the discussion. You actually shouldn't be jacking off to cartoons at all in the first place. But anyways, upon discovering this folder, a lot of people are up in arms. They're criticizing Vaush. They're calling into question his moral character because presumably he's been pleasuring himself to this quality of media. So look, the purpose of this video is not to call Vaush a pedo or to attack his character in any way. Actually, I think this is just a very perfect cautionary tale. What it does is it exposes the nature of online pornography in general for everyone. Because the thing about online adult content is that it offers endless novelty. And it has been empirically observed in people who frequently view this that they descend into more and more strange content. And very quickly, this can become problematic. When one day you're watching some good old bratty sis or maybe a manhwa with some tits in it, another day you'll find yourself looking at a screen with a drawing of a little anime girl getting banged by a horse. Because it didn't start there, you see. It got there. Because your brain became fried, it became numb from the normal content. If you think that the consumption of online pornography over long horizons of time, or especially in your developmental years, cannot cause sexual pathologies, you're sadly mistaken, brother. This stuff is an affront to God, and no one is exempt from falling down the rabbit hole of novelty. You might not end up where Vaush did, but you might end up somewhere equally problematic in some other way. On the channel in this past, I've done content where people sent me confessions through Google Forms, and so many of them are stories where people end up seeing and getting addicted to very problematic shit online. And it starts with, oh, you're a teenager, it's completely natural. Go on. It releases endorphins. But anyway, let's see Vaush's response to all this criticism.
2 images, just flatly didn't look like lolly. I don't give a shit. Like cope, diamond, I just don't care. Like disingenuous shit, you know? The other one is like a with 2 chicks and a guy. And in retrospect, looking at it, knowing now that that artist is a lolicon, yeah, I can see it.
I'm skeptical of any of this. Like, I didn't know what it was before I decided to download it onto my folder. Like, that's a pretty deliberate process. You go there, you left click it, you scroll down to the thing that says download. It's like, oh shit, my hand slipped. Oh no, I accidentally Oh no, I slipped again. I accidentally moved it into the appropriate folder. Oh shit, my pants fell down. Oh, my hand slipped on my dick. Oh, ain't none of this shit is happenstance. You know damn well what you're beating your wiener off to.
When I looked at it, I think the vibe that I got was like short stack, thick kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like the way like goblins get drawn. But you know how they're all like thick short stacks, right? That was the vibe that I got, because in the image, the girl that's shown has super thick legs.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Goblin. What the actual fuck are you talking about? If I was like a comedy writer and I had to try to think of a more absurd response to my goon folder being leaked, I don't think I could conceive of anything crazier than something about goblins. But along with some criticism, there's also some people rushing in to defend Vaush as well. We got the beater brigade here, the fucking goon Gestapo here to lay down the law.
Like I said, this should have easily been a moment where it's like, haha, streamer did a funny, accidentally showed porn on their stream, and you know, you just move on. You laugh at them for a little bit, you have you jokes and memes and whatnot, and you just move on.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you, man. Not even trying to be a dick about it, but you forfeit having people respect your opinion when you look like that. It's just the reality of the planet. But anyway, here's the point. Do I think Vaush is a pedo? No, that's a serious accusation, okay? But he is someone who actively and vehemently defends online prawn. And then you see the fruits, the inner workings of what it yields. The folder gets exposed, and it's gross. It's sordid. It's unsavory. Are these the type of people you want to be listening to, that you want to get political opinions from? Really? Again, it didn't start that way. Vaush was maybe just a teenager trying to look at some normal stuff. 15 years later, now he's looking at this. But he actively defends this content. He doesn't think it's a problem at all. And he's clearly a consistent beater. That's the only way you fry your brain enough to enjoy this kind of stuff. So what else is in all of the folders? Number one, we already know about goblins and horses and lollies, you know, scattered throughout his actual folder. This was just the sorting one. So scattered throughout the actual folder, there's probably all sorts of, you know, it's like fantastic beasts and how to fuck them. There's just all sorts of, you know, wonderful creatures banging each other. But also he's clearly an abashed, unashamed beater. What'll it look like 2 years from now? 5 years from now? 10 years from now? These people don't think there's any problem. 10 years from now, it doesn't stop at horses banging little girls. He got there and there's still momentum building. Am I saying porn makes you a pedo? No. But if you go into all the cases of these people with these psychosexual problems, it's a common factor. Very rarely will someone who abstains from feeding their lust become this twisted. It's a spiritual disease. All right, well, anyways, like, subscribe, share, have a blessed day, peace out.